All right, so today we're going to do a slightly deeper dive on Google Chat notifications. This one comes up a lot, and there's a couple of different places to check. So we're just going to kind of walk through it and, hopefully enable you to have a better grasp on how to make sure you're getting notifications, make sure you're not missing notifications, but also making sure that you don't get notifications when you don't want them. So we're going to be working in Gmail, and we're going to start just right up here at the cog, and we're going to go to See All Settings. We're going to go to Chat and Meet. And then the first one is, do you want Google Chat to show up in Gmail or not? Obviously, you can use chat.google.com and use it completely separately, but I choose to have it in my Gmail since a lot of my work seems to happen in Google Chat increasingly versus kind of Gmail and other routes. So I have it enabled. You can disable it if you want. Manage chat settings. So when we go into the manage chat settings, starting at the very top, there's the allow or disallow chat notifications. But the next one down is the open chat bubbles for new messages. So this is where a new message comes in and it just shows up kind of at the bottom of your screen in a bubble. I prefer that. There is the option just beneath it to kind of flip the bubbles into full screen. I sometimes find that a little disorienting, so I kind of like to see the notifications, decide if I'm going to act on it in that time, click on it, and if I want to have it in the bottom of the screen while I'm working on something else, great. If I want to flip into full screen, I can always just expand that window and do that. So I have it for new messages set there. Notification sounds, every notification sound I try and set to a calm because it seems like every device has to ping all of the time these days. So if I'm going to have notifications at all, I'm going to want them to be calm. The next one down is the email notifications. This one is really, really helpful, particularly if you're trying to cut down on the, intrusion or instant, kind of dings. If you want to go a little bit, more manageable, being able to enable email notifications kind of puts in a safety net so that if you are directly mentioned, like at your name, or if there's a direct message or something like that, then you will get an email notification so that you can kind of use your inbox as a way of, keeping up with anything that you might have missed. So I definitely have that enabled for at mentions and direct messages just in case I missed something. Right below that, this is really powerful. You can actually set do not disturb schedules, and essentially that just mutes the notifications for whatever window, and you can set multiple. So if you want one for the weekends, if you want one for weekday nights, if you want for your lunch hour or something like that, and you just want to set it and forget it and be able to just automatically mute notifications, this is where you can do that. And then down below, there's some additional settings that aren't specific to notifications. So we will bounce out here, and then we're going to go look first. Remember, in Google Chat, there's kind of two different things. There is the one-on-one chats or one-on small group chats, which are kind of ephemeral back and forth and stuff like that. And then you also have spaces, and spaces are typically, larger team-based stuff. It's where you can do kind of like documents and tasks and that kind of thing. So first, we're going to just look at the Google Chat settings itself. And this is really straightforward. If you're in a Google Chat and you go over to where the name is, you can go down and you can either turn off or turn on notifications. So you can actually manage this by individual. So if you have chats open, you can leave some with notifications, you can disable others. And don't worry, there's still a really good visual way. If you receive a message, let's say you're in Gmail and you receive a message, when you open up your chat and you've got that whole window, you'll actually see which ones are bold, and that would indicate a new message. So you can very quickly go through and see where you might have missed anything. Now, you can also have, in fact, here in the space, you can see one. So I have chat messages off for this right now, but you'll see that's bold. That just indicates that there's a new chat message there. So if we go to Spaces and I go into this Chat Pilot one, Spaces is exactly the same. If you go in to manage your notifications, you'll see notifications listed in the same place we found it for the one-on-one, but there's a couple of other settings here. So if I click into the notifications, there's 3 different options. 1, notify always. That just means from that space, you'll just get all notifications. The second one is notify less. Kind of similar to the one-on-one chats, or the email notifications. It just means you'll get notifications when there's an @ mention, or if you're actually following a topic. So if there's a post in a space, you can actually choose to follow that topic, and then any replies or kind of threaded replies or comments to that original post, you'll get those notifications. And then immediately underneath that, there's also a checkbox. And the checkbox is also notify for first message of new topics. So in this particular chat pilot, I don't have that selected, but I use this one a lot because if I want to manage a space and I don't need every single comment or reply to get a notification, but I want to make sure that I don't miss any new threads or topics. If I check that, that just means if there's a new topic, I'll get that very first post about it. And I'll get the @ mentions and stuff, but I won't have to get every single threaded reply. And then, of course, you can turn the notifications off. So with that, there's one other place to kind of manage your notifications, and that's actually up in the chat activity window. So here says that I am automatically available based on chat activity, so it's green, right? But you can also select to essentially just mute for a little bit. So if I click Do Not Disturb, this will open up a quick setting window where I can mute chat notifications for a pre-configured set of time, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. Or I can select this to actually designate a specific time that I want that to end. And if I'm in the Do Not Disturb, it also gives you the quick link to go to the Do Not Disturb settings where you can kind of automate that so that it comes up every single day that way. Other than that, you can get to the chat notifications from here too. So that's it. That's kind of, so there's 2 levels, right? There's the chat settings kind of at the global settings level and the cog wheel. Then you can manage the individual ones for individual people or chats or individual Google Spaces. And then you can kind of manage that up at the top little activity window there too. So I hope that helps. And yeah, there's additional help links below in the description if you want to read up on some of those other settings. All right, later.